Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Medachievers is an international business conglomerate founded in 2014 by Dr. Harsha Vardhan, a mentor and investor in healthcare businesses, and his life partner Dr. Sweta Singh, the group CEO who handles all the back-end operations. The idea was to serve the needs of ever-transforming healthcare industry by offering deep insight and precise solutions. The team works across geographies including India, Australia, Israel, Singapore, UK and the USA. It started its journey with Medachievers Leadership Summit and Awards, where Bollywood megastar Amitabh Bachchan became the first awardee for his invaluable contribution to polio vaccination awareness, leading to a polio-free India. MedParliament, a brainchild of Medachievers, is the global forum for healthcare advocacy, leadership power table, and policy making. MedParliament was conducted across 3 days in New Delhi. Day 1 saw the technical evaluation and reality check day. The team from India, Australia, and Israel had an intra-day activity with Dr. Naresh Trehan, CMD of Medanta Medicity, on best possible business and global scale associations. Day 2 started off with the lamp lighting and kicking off of several sessions and panel discussions on a host of topics. The vision for MedParliament was shared by the founder and managing director of Medachievers, Dr. Harsha Vardhan, in his welcome address.
I was just inspired by this word parliament in a positive way, not the negative way, where we all across the world take some decisions together, implement it on the ground level, budget it, and there are different ministries, so different departments. Now, as healthcare is beautiful integrated industry between infrastructure, clinical science, investments, artificial intelligence, now we have hospitality taking first row in the whole bit. We need to interact with the whole industry. And you can't be local when everything has gone so global.
The first session of MedParliament, Key Aspects of Successful International Transactions Beyond Discussion, brought glimpses of values that the platform brings in the healthcare business ecosystem.
I think kudos to you for actually creating a panel which is talking about transactions. Otherwise, you all talk about everything under the face of this earth except business, which we all privately talk about.
I had spoken with Dr. Harsh over a number of months on the telephone. It's extraordinary. I'm going to go home to do everything I can to make this work. We need to learn as Australians, and this is the message I've got to get back to our investors. We're a publicly listed company. That's the tough bit, to get them to really understand what is here and what this is all about. We've got a few people who are real advocates, like in government, etc. But to get that message across, maybe that's what I'm doing here. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm meant to go home and start really telling this story with the help of Mr. Michael Clarke.
The acting High Commissioner of Australia, Rod Hilton, was very clear about the positive trade plans and funds for Indian market. And Medachievers believed in working closely with them to bring the same into action.
We want to take this relationship to the next level. And that strategy involved consultations right across India, Australia. We talked to 300 professionals operating in different sectors. And both governments sat down, decided we wanted this report at the Prime Ministerial level. The report was launched, and pleasingly, when we decided to announce what our key sectors, our key areas of focus would be on both sides to lift that relationship, health was in there, science and innovation was in there, and importantly, education and research. So you have that imprimatur in government on both sides now.
Dr. Arvind Lal, the CMD of Dr. Lal Path Labs, highlighted the fact that when the 500 million users of healthcare come into action with upcoming government initiatives, the size and opportunity of the market, especially for preventive care, collaborations and transactions, would grow beyond imagination.
firstly, I think what we really need to do in India is to take the diagnostic, high-grade diagnostic services, right, to the people who don't have them.
The second session of MedParliament, Innovation in Action, Achieving Positive Impact in Healthcare, had experts from India, Israel and Australia. And the panel was moderated by Michael Koss, Director, Digitology Healthtech. The valued panel spoke about the need for technology, its application and the changing trends in healthcare. The panel showcased business opportunities between India and global healthcare space. The panel, comprising leading innovators, was very much in line with Indian costing requirements and staunched their support in creating businesses between the countries. While Winfromax CEO Dr. Satish shared the possibilities and tools in making healthcare education easier, the technology company from Israel spoke about electronic products to assist healing. The session, Bridging the 1980s to 2019 in Medical Education, Preparing Doctors Globally to Embrace Innovation, was addressed by leaders from institutions like AIIMS from India and Swinburn University from Australia. The technology experts from Australia and India spoke about needs and opportunities in upgrading the medical education real-time.
The practice of medicine hasn't changed a lot and probably not going to change a lot. Where it will change is the technology for us to potentially be able to diagnose more things, be able to prognose more things and be able to manage it. So clearly management is going to be fundamentally important, and that's why I'm sort of involved in the Respiri story, is because at the end of the day we can change management.
The MedParliament was graced by the presence of Ashwini Kumar Choubey, Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare. He recommended that celebrity power of MedParliament must be utilized to share positivity about Indian businesses, thus aiming at making India as one of the finest exporters of medical equipment.
आप जानते हैं कि भारत से 50 से ज़्यादा % दवाइयाँ विदेशों में हम भेजते हैं। तो आज ये मेडिकल डिवाइसेस का हब भारत कैसे बन सकता है, ये प्रयास आप कर रहे हैं और आपका प्रयास ये प्रशंसनीय है कि आप मेडिकल हब बनाने के लिए मेडिकल डिवाइसेस का हब बने। हमारी जो नीति आयोग है, प्रधानमंत्री जी के निर्देश पर नीति आयोग ने भी अभी एक निर्णय लिया है कि केवल एक ही जगह हब नहीं रहे, तो ये जोन और क्षेत्रों में विभक्त हो सकते हैं, उसका भी प्रयास चल रहा है। और आप जैसे पूंजी निवेश करने वाले लोग वहाँ आकर के जो रॉ मटेरियल्स है उसके आधार पर जो चीज़ आप बनाएंगे तो निश्चित रूप से उसका लाभ यहाँ के गांव के गरीबों को मिलेगा।
The fireside chat with Michael Clarke was the signature talk show of Medachievers. Celebrity Australian cricket player and commentator shared his journey and insights into healthcare entrepreneurship. The chat focused on nature of business in 2019, opportunities and role of sports in bringing culture and business together.
It's been great to hear today. We do business different all around the world, different countries, different cultures. It's no different to sport, but that was the greatest part of playing cricket for Australia and captaining Australia. I got to come and play in India, England, South Africa, West Indies, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. All very different how we did things, yet you can learn and embrace the culture. You can learn and embrace the business. You can learn and embrace the cricket in all those different countries, if you're willing to do that. And that's my challenge to particularly any Australian. There is business, great business with great people to be done in this country. So embrace every single part of India.
As Michael said, from cricket to entrepreneurial journey, he has not left cricket behind.
I think when I made my test debut in Bangalore in 2004, I achieved the greatest dream in the world for me was to play cricket for my country, to play test cricket for my country. And then at 23 years of age when I achieved that, that dream was then gone. So I had to find something else. I changed my focus to saying, okay, let's try and become the best you can possibly be. So every day when you get out of bed, try and become better. And thankfully, 3.5 years post-retirement. I still say the same thing to myself every single morning when I get out of bed, whether it's become a better father, become a smarter businessman, help more boys and more girls, make this business, Respiri, more successful. Whatever it is, I think if I keep challenging myself to try and get better every day, I believe I'll have success. The greatest example for me is when somebody says, how do you define greatness? My answer is longevity. So I think of someone like Sachin Tendulkar. He's the greatest example for me. To be able to play for that amount of time and have that much success, that's greatness. You think of Roger Federer, exactly the same. To be able to play for that amount of time and continually to have success. And it's not, you remember, I think of Sachin, and it feels like every time I played against him, he made 100. He was that great a player. But he didn't. He had down times as well. But through that downtime, he was able to turn things back around and get back to the top of the tree. And that's probably how I see business as well. From day one, you have to accept there's going to be some tough times. But you've got to be able to hang tough through that period to get the reward. In business, if your business doesn't perform as well as you like, and you are the CEO, how much accountability do you believe you should accept?
I believe I should accept 100% or sometimes more than 100%, depending on what kind of CEO I am. If I'm the founder and CEO, probably more than 100% because I'm that dumb who created the whole mess, and I'm the dumb who is responsible to move on with the mess all the time. And I believe that is a business which is a craft for others.
If you believe you are the right person for that job though, I would imagine you would back your own ability. You would say, I can do this, I can turn things around, I can face this challenge head on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In the current scenario, I think many of us are in the same boat and we wear similar hat. Somebody has a bigger boat, somebody has a smaller boat. Smaller boats are more difficult to sail through because the surface area is low and you're in the same ocean. Make the boat bigger, have more engineers, more sailors, and more fuel in the boat. You can reach continents. Boat needs to be big. You believe me, I'm going to increase my boat size today. I'm going to have council, chiefs. I don't know how much convinced they are, but I'm very much convinced they would do something for me down the line. And they are equally convinced that it's a good platform. So I'm going to now extend responsibility to very responsible people because the boat has to grow bigger. One captain is not sufficient. So final question rather, what are your plans with MedParliament now?
You guys have this conclave every year? Well, every time you're feeling like doing one, ring my number and I'll be here.
Wow, this is the greatest, support that we expected from you.
And the business association of Medachievers with Michael Clarke would continue in the future as well, with a couple of big announcements expected soon. Medachievers MedParliament launched its dedicated council in 3 states to manage operations and management on ground level. The 3 state councils were Chennai, represented by Dr. Sharmila, Karnataka, represented by Dr. Swarnlatha, and Delhi UP, represented by Dr. Antul Tiotia. Medachievers is becoming one of the finest healthcare bridges between India and rest of the world. The journey that started in 2014 has fostered partnerships between countries like the United Kingdom, Estonia, Finland, Singapore and United States, thus creating ways to bring technology at affordable prices to India.
We've just struck a deal with an Australian company on eICU. We're already working with, collaborating with other countries, Italy in particular. So I think as Indian healthcare providers, we are very open to foreign collaborations as long as they bring value, not only for the hospitals and healthcare system, but to the patient, most importantly.
The joint venture with Respiri, an Australian stock exchange listed firm, aims to provide respiratory solutions for pollution and help manage asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or COPD patients. On the day of the MedParliament, the JV launched a van fully equipped with the device Wheezo and software that help an individual know about the health and respiratory system. The JV plans to have similar vans in every part of the country. The expected business is more than $30 million in the first 2 years of operations from this product.
The person who is trying to help build a bridge between the patient and the physician with new innovation. It is a simple device to give you an instant reading on how your chest sounds are, what they are, how your breathing is. And it connects to an app. And the algorithm sits in that app. So over a period of 30 seconds, duration 30 seconds, and it will give you what we call a wheeze rate.
Day 2 concluded with the felicitation of healthcare entrepreneurs.
First awardee is our dear friend Dr. Dharminder Nagar. This is the award for his Paras Healthcare that he created as a dream. And now this hospital that acts as a flagship in 2 states is inspiring a lot of corporates. Now the second awardee would mesmerize you because he is a doctor, he is also a pediatrician. He leads India's one of the busiest trauma center called AIMS Trauma Center. And that man is none other than Dr. Rajesh Malhotra. Now you'll be very happy to see the man who has been from Australia. He has been Dean of Swinburn University and also has been working back in 3 different countries trying to manage the respiratory disorders. I would say he's quite successful as well. So he's our guest today in India, as well as he has been selected by the jury committee. His name is Professor Dr. Bruce Thomson. So may I invite Dr. Samundri from Chennai on the stage. She is the Southern Star for Medachievers in single specialty, doing immense, and enormous work in the field of infertility management. So may I invite the President of IHMR, Dr. Pankaj Gupta, to receive the award on behalf of IHMR. Yeah. Dr. Lal is our winner for the most efficient diagnostic chain, the most credible diagnostic chain of the country, and for innovation in imaging. That has been probably a continuous goal of Mahajan Imaging. May I invite Dr. Vidur Mahajan on behalf of Dr. Harsh Mahajan to come and receive the award for the entire Mahajan Imaging group.
Day 3 witnessed deeper discussions in a boardroom setup, and alliance strategies were created between teams from India, Australia and Israel. Industry leaders recognize the efforts by Medachievers and have been supporting them since inception.
We have organizations like Medachievers who have been working very hard to bring all the doctors, nurses, techs, healthcare entrepreneurs and everyone together. They are doing a wonderful job. We should encourage them, support them, and I would like to take this opportunity to wish them good luck and pray to God to take care of their enterprise so that they can touch millions and millions of people who are involved in delivering healthcare in India and across the world.
MedParliament shall be hosting subsequent transaction sessions in Bengaluru and Mumbai in India, and overseas in cities like Melbourne in Australia, as well as countries like Singapore and United States in the next 6 months.
It's great to be here at Medachievers MedParliament. I think it's a fantastic idea. When we think about the type of collaborations we can build between our countries, Australia and India, what a wonderful opportunity to bring together business people, health professionals, researchers to really start to work out what are the type of partnerships we need to form to really start to solve some of the joint problems we have.
MedParliament is going to ensure that from today onwards, we also do investments, policy design, and global adherence that leads to structural, alignment between countries, companies, partners, so intra-company, inter-company, intra-country, inter-country. So we are trying to be next 3 years the biggest springboard for healthcare business.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.